Tourism is a tool for stimulating economic growth and diversification in any country. The sector has contributed immensely to the gross domestic product of many countries of the world. With the diversification policy of the present administration, tourism and agriculture have been given premium in order to make Nigeria great again. With the available tourist attractions in the country, investment in this sector of the economy will add up to the ongoing giant stride being made to revitalize the economy. The establishment of the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation in 1992, which started out as the Nigerian Tourist Association in 1964, is to fast-track development in this sector with the aim involving planning, supervision, development, and marketing of tourism in Nigeria. To what extent has the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation been able to perform its mandate as enshrined in the Act establishing it? These and more will form the center stage of our discourse on Stepping Up this week as we host the Director General of the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, Mr. Folorunsho Kuka. My name is Kemi Fakeye. We are reaching you from the office of the Director General of the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation in person of Folorunsho Kuka. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Kemi.
Let's start by talking about the place of tourism in Nigeria's economy.
First of all, I think we need to define what tourism is. Define the different components of tourism, and then ascribe those values from those different components to the Nigerian economy in terms of GDP. In terms of employment generation, tourism is the largest employer in the world. It employs more people than the oil industry, simply because the businesses, the core businesses in it of transportation, hospitality, and entertainment, from nightclubs to parties to churches, all those different components of entertainment, hospitality is accepting people to live for short periods of time with you, from Airbnb to hotels to guest houses to hostels, and then transportation is air, sea, and land. All those things are big business in Nigeria, and they are all part of what constitutes the tourism industry. The different types of tourism that we have as well. You know, when you say tourism, people tend to focus very quickly on leisure, lying down on a beach and sipping a margarita or whatever. But there's business tourism. People come to Nigeria to do business. People do business up and down within Nigeria. There's economic tourism, which is different from the business, which is people buy and sell. People go to Lagos to buy goods and sell in Abuja. People come from Kano to buy some things in Abuja and sell in Kano. There's that. There's the ever-increasing religious tourism, where people just come to Nigeria from all over the world to pray. Both the Odun Ifa in Ekwe, which is the traditional religions, to the famous Christian Pentecostal churches of both Lagos and Abuja, and ever-increasing numbers. We have churches that hold 1 million. Okay. Nigeria is like a mini Jerusalem of Africa. When it comes to religion. So all those are components of tourism that need to be quantified, and then to arrive at the figure in terms of what tourism means to the Nigerian economy.
Is the government doing enough to really tap into the potentials of this sector?
The government spends money producing extra electricity for the Nigerian. That extra electricity is the same electricity that the tourist is going to use. They spend on road, on rail, on security. Every penny of the trillions the federal government has spent on making the life of a Nigerian better will also deepen the experience of a tourist in Nigeria. Are there certain things that could be tourism specific? For example, the tourism satellite account has been paid for. They're working on it. It's a process. Security. Security has improved tremendously. 4 years ago, there were explosions in Abuja here. I was in Lagos and that we used to see. Abuja was not a safe city. Abuja is a safer city. There's no country on earth that doesn't have security challenges. But the things you work on. Does America not have security challenges? Does France not have security challenges, especially for people in your industry? Does Britain not have security challenges? We all do. It's a management issue. You manage it. Can we do more? Yes, we can. Can we produce our tourism assets like our resorts, our waterfalls? And what do I mean by produce? Can we look at access? How do you get there? The roads to the place. When you get there, are you comfortable? Could you find a decent bathroom to use? Is there a sitting area? If you choose to spend the night at Owu Falls, is there a hostel where you can stay comfortably? Is it safe? Is there GSM signal? Because when you don't have signal, you feel a bit insecure, unsafe, blah, blah, blah. What other activities can you cluster around that natural feature to start to grow that microeconomy? Is there a restaurant where you can have a cold bottle of water? Is there a place where you can allow local artisans to make products that are specific to that location that you can take away as a souvenir? I was in Owu Falls. This is my little carving of Owu Falls. All those things are also employment generating and income generating. And I think we need to look at tourism as a business, and we need to focus on it as a business and invest in it as a business for us to start to look at earning some of the global trillions that tourism is responsible for that seems to fly over our country. I mean, if you're American and you want a tropical holiday, Nigeria is 6 hours away, but you go all the way to, the Middle East, the Far East for the same holiday. If you're European, Nigeria is 6 hours away, but you go all that way across Africa when you can come to this place.
But one of the mandates of this organization is to encourage tourists from other parts of the world to come to the country, to spend their holidays. Are you doing this at all?
Yes, we are. International tourism is just the connection of an international ticket to a solid domestic industry. It is only on the rock-solid platform of domestic tourism that international tourism can grow. When you travel abroad, you go to London, you're an international tourist. What you're plugging into, what you're enjoying there, the shops, the cafes, the museums, all those things are a solid and robust and mature domestic tourism industry consumed by the British who live on that island. And their throughput through it, going there, enjoying the cinemas, the restaurants, etc., over and over and over, made them grow. Their growth, their maturity, is what now became such a niche in the world that people from Europe started to come there to enjoy this thing. People from the Americas started to come there. You must grow your own solid foundation of domestic tourism. And I'm not talking about the international huge hotel footprints or companies that come here. I'm talking about the local artisans, the small restaurants, the small fashion dressmakers. Those are the little cottage industries that aggregate together to provide the platform that international tourism connects to. That's why when you go to London or when you go to Dubai or South Africa, all these little things you want to do, all those little things are household industries that have grown in that economy have been patronized by their own people. It is in the strength of those homegrown industries that domestic international tourism comes and sits. That is where we now regulate, tax, etc., and the incomes start to come in. Are we promoting Nigeria in terms of tourism? You see, I have observed tourism for a while, and I have been a tourism entrepreneur as well. You can make a lot of noise and get a lot of traction in the newspapers and call it tourism. No, that's not value for money for me. We've had to look at what do people want. These people that want this thing, where do they come from? How old are they? Are they male or female? What is the digital connection? If I go outside there and I say I will pay 10,000 people 500 naira each to come and watch a traditional cultural dance in my town hall downstairs, I'll probably get 10 or 20. If I go out there and I tell the same people, pay me 5,000 naira and come and watch Genevieve act one scene, or Wizkid just sing one track, do you know that they'll be fighting to give me that money?
Okay.
They're telling you something. They're telling you that they don't want to sit down under hot tents in dusty fields watching the same traditional dances they've watched ages ago.
Yes.
They're telling you that there are new mediums of cultural expression. Open your iPhone now. Yeah. Tell me the last 10 images you received from your friends. Probably got to do with food, with fashion, with music, with religion, seasonally with politics.
How are you cashing in on this?
The medium they exist in is simple. It's digital.
Yeah.
We've seen the oil boom that created so much cash. We saw the banking boom, that the banks and the money needed to move faster than people carrying cash. We now saw the communications boom. Yeah. The MTNs, the Econets, blah, blah, blah. Now it's a digital boom. Okay? All those things exist in the digital ecosystem, the music, the film. For you to capture the food, it has to be in high quality, 4K resolution, blah, blah, blah. That is the ecosystem that marketing is in. If you do not subscribe to, or you do not have the necessary tools, you will look at it and think, they're not doing anything. What have we done? We've created a brand called Tour Nigeria, and it's a simple statement, Tour Nigeria. Like Malaysia, Truly Asia, Incredible India, Magical Kenya. They're not saying anything.
Even Ethiopia.
They're just focusing your attention, and that's what the branding is doing. On Tour Nigeria, go around Nigeria. Okay. Go around Nigeria and explore the different flavors of the different regions of Nigeria, Nigerian flavors. Tour Nigeria with Nigerian flavors. And what are the Nigerian flavors we're asking you to go around Nigeria to experience? They're the new mediums of cultural expression. It's the food, it's the fashion, it's the film, it's the religion, etc. Now, while you're doing that, you discover Nigeria. Those flavors exist. They may not be well documented. So we have gone for documentation. Okay. Documentation is simply, you know, the days of sending a cameraman to go all around Nigeria to take photographs of everything. There are many archives of it already. Let the people tell their own story. Let the people take the photographs and post them. So we have hashtag Tour Nigeria, hashtag Nigerian flavors. So anybody who takes a photograph of anything and puts just hashtag as part of the name or the heading, comes to our archives. So we think about 12,000 people now who are doing that. And if you think of 12,000 people constantly posting photographs of different sorts from different areas of Nigeria and putting that hashtag, this is a Nigerian flavor in terms of fashion. If we go down to lunch, we will have 2 different flavors in terms of food. You know, I don't want to break it to that level, but if you also look at Wikipedia it has started a competition called Wiki Loves Earth, and we've partnered with them with that. We have a memorandum of understanding. And again, it's for the Nigerian to tell the Nigerian story through images, through positive images, not the constant repetition of the negative, which is what has been the bane of Nigeria. If you've been to other African countries, we don't have a security problem. Our infrastructure is fantastic to some of these other African countries. But nobody sings this broken record of negativity about them. But we, apart from foreigners, we ourselves are responsible for the sensational reporting that is not development friendly. If we're to develop, we must speak positively about. That's right. And we, no matter whether you're Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Muslim, Christian,
or a traditionalist.
Or a traditionalist, you're not taught at home to abuse your parents. Yeah. So Nigeria is my fatherland. I'm not ready to abuse my father. Are you?
No.
So we are development prone.
So let's take a short break at this point. Viewer, we'll be back in a moment. We are still talking with the Director General of the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation in person of Mr. Folorunsho Koka. We've been talking about tourism development in Nigeria, how it can be better. Well, there's this saying that government does not have business in doing business.
I agree.
Is there any collaboration with the private sector in all this, especially this initiative to Nigeria?
Government has no business in business, yes. Government has a business in people. People own businesses. Government creates an enabling environment for people to do business. And that enabling environment is what we have spent quite a lot of energy on in conjunction with other government agencies and the Office of the Vice President in, for example, the ease of doing business. A lot of the things that are encompassed in the ease of doing business benefit specifically tourism, especially, for example, visa on arrival. The laws that govern tourism in Nigeria are 40 years old. A 40-year-old law cannot contain best practices in 2020. Okay. When I came in, I met the 8th Senate seeking to amend that law, and we threw all our weight behind the repeal of the old law and the enactment of a new law, which has been done. That was done in October last year. It's been sent to the House of Representatives for concurrence. It is currently going through that motion, and it will leave there and go to the President for assent. I don't want to delve into the law. I'm sure that we will have another opportunity to talk about it. But can you imagine what a 40-year-old structure legally meant to tourism as a business? Can you imagine repealing and enacting another law now that takes into consideration the best practices globally to enhance the business? I believe with the digital revolution that we're currently going through, I believe this new law is the equivalent of GSM to 090. I think it'll create opportunities, it will create connections. I think it will allow people to see value, it will allow people to see tourism as a business, it will allow investment opportunities, it will attract foreign direct investment. It allows Ntdc to operate like a business. It allows us to operate within the same sort of legal framework as our competitors in Dubai, South Africa, Ethiopia, the Gambia, etc. No matter how well your intentions are, no matter how hard you work, if the rules are not in favor of your development, you can't. So that is going to be a major thing for us in tourism. And I have been speaking to some of the stakeholders in the tourism ecosystem to see basically what can be done even before this law comes in for everybody to be prepared to take advantage of it.
Let's talk about 2018 in retrospect. How has it been? The recap of the year.
It's been quite a year. It's the year in which we floated a brand, we supported the brand, we tried to work the brand through. It's not been a year without challenges based on the recession the country has been emerging from and the general lack of liquidity in both the public and the private sector. Tourism is something that could generate huge revenues, but we're not there yet.
Is it because of the obsolete law that we are not there?
There's not just the obsolete law. There are quite a few things that affect tourism in Nigeria right now. But the corporate governance and the regulation, yes, that's part of that. There's training, there's a human capital in terms of the welfare of both people in the public and the private sector. There's basic infrastructure that tourism depends on globally. And if they're just not there, look, you can't attract conferences into a city that has traffic gridlock. They don't go together. Forget it. You can't attract a beach or develop a beach lifestyle where your beaches are covered in empty plastic containers. It doesn't work. The local clients can live with it, but internationally there's so many options. For the same dollar, they'll go elsewhere. For us, actually, Nigeria is the cheapest holiday. As a Nigerian, you don't have to change your dollar. You don't have to apply for a visa. You don't have to roam your phone. It is usually a domestic flight. I think the most expensive flight internal within Nigeria is less than $200–300.
So apart from this initiative, Tour Nigeria, have you taken steps to change this narrative of making some of our attractions attractive, so to say?
Tell a digital lie about what an event is or a feature is, and people come and look at it and see that you lied. They will become ambassadors of the truth and they will destroy your product. We've been working quietly with some of the state governments in developing tourism, either tourism plans or taking a specific product to develop it to the next level. And I'll tell you about one. You should be able to go and watch the Derby like Wimbledon. You buy your ticket, you buy your package, your ticket, your hotel room, your transport, your seats there, and go and sit down on number 5X and watch the Derby. And it's not very difficult to translate. It's a brand already. Deepen the digital presence of the brand. Let people know what it is. Create packages. Call the hotels, call the airlines. Create packages so that people can buy one simple product that allows them to seamlessly come to Nigeria and watch the Derby, as it is easy for you to go to Jerusalem or Saudi Arabia on pilgrimage.
And how soon do you think we'll begin to experience this?
It depends on the owners of the asset, which is the government of Kano State and the Emirate Council. We are ready to. The speed at which information happens, information moves around, and the digital technologies available are going to make change more rapid. And I believe the change will be positive. In the field of tourism, I believe things like the greatest transport company or the biggest transport company in the world does not own a car. Uber, Taxify. They don't own a car, they don't own a driver, they don't own car insurance or petrol. But somebody has created a digital environment that brings the market to the manufacturer, brings to buyer and seller, brings them together and extracts value. I believe people like Irajo, Waka with Debbie, Niger Adventures, Bauchi Adventures, these are people who have digital identities that aggregate clients and take them on experiences. I think in terms of tour operations, I think they're going to be the future. That digital revolution in a huge population with the amount of talent in all these different mediums, I think it's going to make 2019, I think, the year where Nigeria sits on #1 in one or two of these things. We're already #2 in film in terms of numbers from Nollywood. I think the music speaks, well for itself. Nigerian art is already commanding incredible figures. When I talk about art, I mean the grandmasters at auctions in Europe. Nigerian fashion is, they're complaining that Europe is copying their ideas. I don't forget that we also have our traditional, cultural heritage side of it. But until we invest in it, decides he wants to go to Nigeria, his inquiry about Nigeria is still online, good, bad. Visa experience, airport experience, hotel experience. Can you see the value change that you have to come down? And his initial contact with the hotel, with the airline, it's all digital. That's why I keep emphasizing. Some people call me
digital DG.
Yes, but it's the future.
In few seconds, what should the people expect from your corporation in the new year?
In the new year, we'll continue to work very hard, quietly, delivering what we believe will be the foundation of the future tourism industry in Nigeria.
Okay, Mr. Folorunsho Kuka, it's so nice talking with you on the program.
Thank you very much, Yemi. I'm very grateful.
Join us again when we shall bring you another guest to talk about what government is doing to impact positively on Nigerians. My name is Kemi Fakeye. Bye for now.